and thank you for tuning into my channel today. Today I'm bringing you restorative yoga flow. So if you'll join me on either a mat or a comfortable surface in your home, come to an easy seated position with your knees wide, ankles crossed, or if it's in your practice today, feel free to bring one foot up to your hip crease, finding a half lotus. From here, I invite you to sit up nice and tall, pressing your chest forward. Begin to roll your shoulders down your back, and if you feel comfortable, begin to close your eyes. As you sit here, feel your tailbone as it connects to your mat. Feel your energy grounding down into the floor, and begin to notice your breathing. Notice if you're breathing through your mouth or your nose. Notice if you're breathing quickly or slowly. And with your next breath, begin to take your breath in through your nose. See if you can completely fill up your chest. Take in one more breath of air at the very top, and exhale out your nose. Once again, inhale through the nose, this time for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, holding at the top, and exhale out the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue this breathing on your own, making your inhale and your exhale to the count of 4. And now come back to your normal breath. I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. Your intention should be positive, in the present tense, something such as I am blank. If nothing comes to mind, feel free to use the intention I am safe. Take a moment to repeat this to yourself in your head a couple times. And with your next inhale, begin to softly open through your eyes. And with your exhale, take your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching through the left side of the neck. If it feels comfortable here, you can bring your right hand to the outside of the head, maybe gently guiding over a little bit more. Wherever you're at, begin to release that right hand back to your knee, inhaling your head back up to center, and with your exhale, taking that left ear towards the left shoulder, maybe finding that left hand to connect to the head. And again, releasing that left hand back down, inhaling back up to center. With your exhale, tucking your chin to your chest, maybe rounding through the spine, drawing your shoulders forward, belly comes back. And with your next inhale, finding your gaze in front of you, start to draw your chest forward, creating a round through the small of your back. And with your next exhale, tucking chin to chest, drawing your belly button to spine, making a big C curve with your back. Inhale, drawing your chest forward, rounding through the low spine. And exhale, tucking chin to chest, rounding through the back. Moving through 2 more rounds here with your own breath. Feel free to take any extra movement. Maybe the chest comes right to left. Maybe you bring some big circles into the belly or the back, whatever feels good for you today. And with your last breath, come back to your center, sitting up nice and straight. And with your next inhale, begin to take your hands up overhead. With your exhale, reaching your fingertips forward to connect to the floor, tucking your chin to your chest, finding a forward fold. Begin to find your gaze towards your hands. Start to come up onto your knees and uncross your ankles, finding a tabletop position. From From here, your hands should stack underneath your shoulders. Knees are about hips distance apart, toes are untucked. Moving through 2 more rounds of cat-cow here. With your next inhale, tucking chin to chest, rounding through the spine. And with your exhale, dropping the belly, shifting your gaze forward. Inhale, rounding through the spine. Exhale, dropping the belly. From here, coming back to your flat back, begin to take your knees as wide as your mat. Let your toes come together and allow your hips to sink towards your heels as you walk your hands forward and draw your chest down. Find a comfortable way to rest your head on your mat here, either your forehead or a cheek. And with your next breath, keeping your head connected to your mat, begin to come up onto your fingertips, making tents with your hands. From here, keeping your head connected to your mat, try to press your chest down, feeling a deep stretch of the shoulders. Begin to release your hands back down to your mat. Find your gaze between them and come up onto your knees. This time, tuck your toes, lifting through your knees, extending back through the hips to your down dog. Once you're here, take a moment to bend into one knee and then the other. Find your gaze towards your feet. Make sure they're about hips distance apart. And begin to find stillness. With your next inhale, finding your gaze towards your hands, begin to bend your knees, and as you exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat, finding a forward fold. Allow your arms to fall heavy towards the floor. Allow your chin to tuck to your chest. Maybe reaching for the elbows, letting your head rest on your forearms. Wherever you're at, begin to release your hands back down to the floor. With your next inhale, slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. At the very top, exhale to roll the shoulders down the back, taking your hands to your sides. Bring your feet about hips distance apart. Let your palms face forward. And again, maybe close your eyes. Take a moment here to repeat your intention in your head or out loud. Notice the sensation of your feet as they connect to your mat. Remember that you are safe, you are grounded. With your next inhale, softly opening through the eyes, begin to take your hands overhead, interlacing your fingers. And with your exhale, reaching towards that right side, allowing your left hip to press over towards that left side, and begin to roll that left shoulder down the back, finding your gaze towards the ceiling. With your next inhale, coming back to center, exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, this time finding cactus arms, 90 degrees. Begin to press your chest forward, drawing your shoulder blades together. Find your gaze towards the ceiling. As you inhale through your nose here, take a big breath to fill up the chest. And as you exhale, open your mouth, maybe stick out your tongue, releasing all of the breath from your chest. Repeat this 3 more times here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And with your next inhale, reaching hands up overhead, tuck your chin to your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to the shins, find a flat back. Exhale, fold, placing your hands down, begin to step your feet back to your high plank. As we move through our first flow, always the option to drop your knees down to the mat here. Drawing your elbows into your ribs, lowering down for chaturanga. Untuck the toes, chest comes high for cobra. From here, tucking the toes, pressing back, down dog. With your next inhale, gazing between the hands, bend the knees, exhale, walk it forward. With your next inhale, begin to bend your knees, sinking your hips low, glue your belly and your chest to your thighs. And with your next inhale, sweeping hands up overhead, lifting through the chest, chair pose. Take a moment here to find your tailbone. Notice that you're not popping out at the bottom. You want to try to tuck under to save that low back. And again, working those hands up overhead, rolling the shoulders down the back. See if you can sink your seat even lower. Holding for one more inhale here. And with your exhale, releasing your hands, extending the knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, placing those hands, step it back. And move through your flow. From here, with your next inhale, begin to raise your right foot towards the ceiling. Be mindful here that your right hip does not lift up. You want to try to keep that hip pressing towards your mat. With your next exhale, begin to bend into your right knee, drawing your thigh to your belly. Start to roll forward to your high plank, and take your right foot to replace your right hand. From here, make sure that your knee stacks over your ankle, and begin to drop your left knee to the mat, untucking your toes. Take a moment here to make sure that this back knee is not holding the weight. You want to press your hips forward to take all of the weight off of that knee. With your next inhale, raising the hands up overhead, lifting through the chest. And with your exhale, interlacing the fingers, replacing your hands onto your thigh. With your next inhale, take your right forearm down to your right thigh and let your left hand come overhead. With your exhale, reach your right fingertips across your body, finding a deep stretch in that left hip. With your next inhale, coming back to center, releasing both hands down to your mat, to the inside of that foot. Begin to walk your right foot out about 2 steps or to the outer edge of your mat. And if it feels comfortable here, feel free to drop down to your forearms. Or maybe take one hand to the inside of your right knee, maybe coming onto the outside of the foot. Wherever you're at, replacing your foot back down, taking that right hand down to your mat. Begin to walk your right foot back in about 2 steps and take your right hand to the outside of the foot. Begin to tuck your left toes, lifting that back knee, and lift your hips just enough to take that right foot back to your high plank and move through your flow. Moving to the other side, inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bending into that knee, high plank. Inhale, replacing that left hand with the left foot. Exhale, dropping that right knee, untucking the toes. Inhale, raising through the chest. Exhale, interlacing the fingers, coming down to that left thigh. With your next inhale, take your left forearm to that left thigh, right hand comes overhead. And with your exhale, reaching those right fingertips across the body. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, both hands come down to the inside of the foot. Begin to walk your left foot out about 2 steps. And if it feels comfortable here, maybe dropping to the forearms or taking that left hand to the inside of the knee, maybe coming to the outside of the foot. Wherever you're at here, begin to replace that left foot back down, walking it in about 2 steps. Taking your left hand down to the outside of the foot, begin to tuck your right toes, lifting those hips, And replacing your left foot back to your high plank and moving through your flow. This time, taking knees as wide as your mat, toes together, sitting the hips back for child's pose. Take a moment here to remember your intention. Repeat it to yourself in your head or out loud. And wherever you're at, begin to walk your hands back towards your knees, raising up through the chest. Begin to walk your knees in about 2 inches on both sides, raising up through the hips to stack over the knees. Begin to take both hands towards your tailbone. You can either take fingertips to place down here, elbows draw together, or you can take thumbs around the back, fingertips come to wrap, again drawing those elbows together. From here, press your hips forward as far as you can. Once you've found your edge in your lower body, begin to find your gaze towards the ceiling, or maybe lower through the chest. With your next inhale, tuck your chin to your chest, raising up, taking those hips back towards the heels, walking the hands forward for child's pose. From here, begin to walk your hands forward, coming onto your belly, extending your legs towards the back of your mat. Begin to reach your hands forward. Let your right cheek connect to your mat, maybe taking the hips right to left. And as you feel comfortable here, begin to roll onto your back and find both knees in towards your chest. Begin to glue your tailbone to your mat, maybe taking it right to left to massage through the low spine. And again, coming to stillness. With your next inhale, tuck your chin to your chest, draw your knees in even closer. And with your next exhale, releasing your head, neck, and shoulders to your mat. Let your feet fall heavy. Begin to walk your hands down to your sides, letting your palms rest face up. Allow your feet to find the corners of your mat. Take a moment to walk your shoulders away from your ears. Take any adjustments you need to in your upper or lower back. And once you're comfortable, begin to close your eyes. As we move into our final resting pose of Shavasana, thank your body for moving you today. Thank yourself for showing up. And remind yourself of your intention. Allow yourself 3 to 5 minutes of rest here, or however long you feel you need today. And enjoy your final resting pose of Shavasana.